So the order in which the vertices become the dead end. And then we'll just pop everything. We will just pop it off from the stack, and then we will reverse this order, and that will yield topological solution to topological sorting, which will yield solution to topological sorting. And it's very much required that you should check for back edges. So no back edges should be encountered. Okay, if at all, if you have a graph with back edges, you remove those back edges and then only you start with sorting. So what is the application of this? Application of DFS? It is used to detect cycles in the graph. In graph, if there are cycles, you can easily find out by using this DFS. Hence, as it is the nature of this DFS to detect cycles, it is used in operating system to find deadlocks. Okay, you have studied deadlock OS, or it's there right now for you all? OS you are studying in this semester?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, have you come across deadlocks or not yet done?
Not yet, ma'am.
Yeah. Deadlocks you'll come to know. Okay, what are deadlocks? Deadlock is nothing but it will be holding one resource which is required by some other resource. So other resource, what it does, it just keeps waiting. So there is a lock that is called as a deadlock, and no work can be carried out because it is waiting for a resource which is held by some other application, and that again will be waiting for some other resource. So it's a lock. Things cannot be carried out. So to find those deadlocks, to detect cycles in the graphs, it is very much useful DFS. Where it is used in operating system to find deadlocks. Okay, so you can say that the algorithm which is used to find deadlocks, one of the algorithms which is used to find deadlocks is depth first search as well. Fine. Okay, let's start now. It's very simple. We'll just do it now. For the same graph, whatever we had written. The only thing is concentrate and then ask for doubts. I'll give it 2 more exercises now, then you will, when you do it by yourself, you'll be more clear. Okay, source removal is simpler than this. Okay, so this is a directed digraph. Okay, now, so what should we do? We should start from one node, C1. So we are starting from C1. Okay, then from C1 we should visit the next node. So what is C1 connected to? C3. So we'll visit C3, and later we can visit C4. Okay, because in order, we are going in order. If you write a program, I will be incremented 1, 2, 3, 4 like that only. You can say, ma'am, C3, we can go for C5. But you think in terms of programs, whatever you'll write. You have to implement this by using for loop only. In that case, I will be incremented by 1 every time. So it goes to 1, 2 like that. So right now, let's think that it's going in order C1, C3, and then it's going for C4, and then because from C4 again we have a path to C5 as well. Okay, now C5. C5 is a dead end. Do you see here? Note the order in which the vertices become dead end. So here we have reached the dead end. Once it reaches the dead end, what it does? It pops off the element. Isn't it? So popping order, I'll write it here down in small. Okay, 1. This is the first element to be popped. Then once this is popped in the stack, next element is this only. Okay, it will pop this. Okay, whenever it is popping, it will also check whether there is a path from that to any other node. So C5 before popping, it's the dead end, so it has popped. And later when it tries to pop C4, it checks whether it is connected to some other node. It is not connected to any other node. Again, this is the dead end. So that is also popped. Then it comes to C3. Okay, C3 again, C4 is popped and C5 is popped. Already done with this. So C3 also serves as a dead end. So it will just pop off C3 as well. Now, what is the next? C1. From C1, we don't have any other path. We don't have to, there is no other node to visit. So that is popped off last. Okay. Then what it does, remaining nodes, it will just pop in and pop out. So C2 was left out, isn't it? So it will just, C2, it will just push in and then it is popped out. So if we will reverse this order now, the popping order. Let's note down the popping order now. The popping of order will be, so take down this. So we have, sorry, this is C5. Okay, this is C2 and it's popped up at the end. So what is the popping order? This small letters what I have written, that is the popping of order. So first element to be popped was C5. Then which element? Can someone answer? Can you tell me the order?
C5.
Okay, it's first C5, then
C4.
yes,
C3,
yes,
C1, C2.
and then C2. So this is not the exact solution. We have to reverse this. Then we will get the exact solution for this. C2, C1, C3, C4, C5. We'll show it like this. This from C2 you can directly say 5. And again from C3 you also can reach C5. So this is the solution to the problem. Okay. So you will just push it, find whether there is one more node which is connected to that. You push that also. How long you do that? Until you find a dead end. Once you find a dead end, you just pop that element and check whether the node to which it is connected has some other path. See, for example, if we take C4, if we will remove the C5 which is popped off, C4 further doesn't have any other path. So again, this is the dead end. So we will pop that. We'll come back. C4 and C5 are gone. I'll show, rub and show here. So first C5. Okay, C5 we popped off. Now C4. C4 doesn't have any path, so we are popping off C4. Okay, now when it comes to C3, C3 is not as doesn't have any alternate path, so this is the dead end. So we will pop off this as well. And then we have the C1 inside this. Okay, so we will just pop off this. Then we are left out with only C2 alone. We are pushing it and we are popping off. C2. We are just pushing it and popping off. Then we'll just note down the popping off order because you have written in small letters here. Note down this order, then reverse it. Then just looking into the graph, we have just connected this, that's all. Okay. So this is DFS. Can you take this example and try by yourself? Apply. Okay, I'll write down here the graph. Have you all noted this? So
Yes, ma'am.
We had C1, C2, C3, C4 and C5, isn't it? Okay. Note down this. And an example you can just work out. I'll write down on top. Source removal algorithm also we'll see if you can do one. Source removal is very simple. Let me tell that also so that you can apply both. Okay. Note down till then. You always put a note down antare anta. Sorry for that, guys. I'm just rubbing it and I'm asking you to note down. Sorry. You anyway have the notes with you, isn't it? Okay, for the same graph, if we are using source removal algorithm, it's very simple. You have to just delete the node with or a vertex node or a vertex with no incoming edges. So we have C1, C4. Okay. So what are we discussing? We are discussing source removal. So what it does, it identifies, okay, identify a vertex with no incoming edge and it deletes it along with all the edges outgoing from it. And if at all, if a particular problem has many sources, then we will just break the tie arbitrarily. That's what we can break it arbitrarily. And if there is none, we have to stop the problem, and that means the problem is solved. And the order in which the vertices will be deleted will give you the solution to the topological sorting problem. So if we will take up this, we'll just delete an edge with a vertex with no incoming edges. So let's go in order. C1, does it have any incoming edge? No. So we will delete C1. Okay. When we delete C1, we'll end up getting this. So we have C3, C2, C4, and C5. Any topic if you will not be able to follow, you can just ask again. Let me repeat it. Okay, we have deleted C1. So this is the resulting graph. And now we'll identify one more with no incoming edges. See, this doesn't have any incoming edge. So we'll delete C2. And what's the resulting graph? We will have C3, C4, and C5. Okay, now which is the graph with no incoming edges? C3 only. So we will delete C3. I'll write down up. After deleting C3, we'll be left out with only C4 and C5. Isn't it like this? See here. Now we'll delete C4. And we'll end up getting, so this is the end. C5 we will delete. So what's the solution? The order in which they were visited. C1, C2, C3, C4 and C5. This is source removal algorithm. So you should identify a vertex with no incoming edges. And if you have, see, we had here we had two nodes with no incoming edges, C1 and C2. We'll take them, we'll break the tie arbitrarily. That's what happens in DFS as well. So we'll take up C1 first. So we'll delete C1, then we'll delete C2. Okay. So if there are more than one source with no incoming edges, then we will break the tie arbitrarily and we'll delete all the nodes with no incoming edges. And finally, when we end up with the last one, we can get the solution. We'll list them in order and we'll get the solution. So C1 first because there was no incoming edge. C2 also had no incoming edge, but we'll go arbitrarily. So C1 first, then C2. Once we remove C1, C2, C3 doesn't have any incoming edge. So we will just remove C3. And after that, with that connected edge also we'll remove. Okay, see, when we delete C1, we'll remove this edge. So when we delete C3, we'll remove this edge and this edge. So we'll end up with this. So C4 is connected to C5. So C4 is the one next target because it doesn't have any incoming edge. C4 is deleted. Finally, we have C5. So this is the order in which the nodes will be visited. So it's an example for decrease and concurrent